In the early 2010s, deep within the crumbling walls of an abandoned warehouse in downtown Los Angeles, a man named Frank Delgado spent his days surrounded by decaying film reels, dusty projectors, and forgotten cinematic history. Once a respected projectionist and now closed art house cinema, Frank had dedicated over 4 decades to preserving the physical legacy of film, from silent classics to obscure foreign titles. But as digital streaming replaced celluloid, theaters shuttered, and studios discarded old reels, his life's work was dismissed as obsolete. By 2012, Frank was living on a modest pension, volunteering at a community media center that could barely afford electricity, let alone restoration equipment. He rescued damaged films from dumpsters, hand-cleaned splices, and projected rare prints for dwindling audiences of cinephiles. To most, he was invisible, a relic of a bygone era. But not to Quentin Tarantino. Tarantino, already celebrated for Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, and Django Unchained, had long been one of the last great defenders of analog cinema. He spoke openly about his love for 35mm film, grindhouse theaters, and the tactile magic of holding a reel in your hands. In 2007, he opened the New Beverly Cinema, a historic theater in Law, purchasing it outright to ensure it would never convert to digital, a bold, costly decision in an age when nearly every theater had surrendered to change. He didn't just own it, he curated it. He programmed double features, hosted Q&As, and screened forgotten gems from around the world. And he did so with the help of a small team, including archivists, projectionists, and film restorers. When Tarantino learned about Frank Delgado, not through fame, but through a recommendation from a fellow preservationist, he didn't see a man past his prime. He saw a guardian of cinema's soul. Instead of offering a token job, Tarantino invited Frank to join the New Beverly as its senior film archivist and projection consultant. The role wasn't ceremonial, it was essential. Frank was tasked with curating rare prints, maintaining the theater's vast 35mm library, training younger projectionists, and advising on film selection. But Tarantino went further. He funded the creation of an on-site restoration lab, a space where damaged reels could be repaired, cleaned, and preserved. He hired 2 assistants to work under Frank, ensuring knowledge transfer. He even arranged for Frank's medical bills to be covered through a private fund, knowing the older man had delayed treatment due to cost. For Frank, the impact was profound. After years of feeling obsolete, he was suddenly at the heart of a cultural movement. He taught classes on film handling, led tours of the archive, and introduced new generations to directors like Godard, Kurosawa, and Fuller, filmmakers whose work had fought to preserve. What made this act remarkable wasn't just employment, it was restoration of dignity. Tarantino didn't just give Frank a paycheck, he gave him back his voice, his relevance, and his mission. And for Tarantino, this wasn't charity, it was justice. He had built his career on stolen scenes, homages, and the DNA of old movies. He often said, "I don't create cinema, I resurrect it." And in Frank Delgado, he found someone who had done the same quietly for decades. When Frank passed away in 2018, Tarantino closed the New Beverly for one night, not for mourning, but for screening. The program, The Hateful Eight in 70mm, a film shot on film, projected on film, in a theater that refused to surrender to time. No speeches were made, no eulogy, just light, motion, and memory. Because sometimes the greatest tribute isn't words, it's keeping the projector running. And Quentin Tarantino, the man who redefined modern storytelling, had ensured that those who kept cinema alive wouldn't be forgotten.